What's going on YouTube? Welcome in, I am LiboATM as always. Happy Wednesday, day of release. Usually I would have my Shrine of Secrets video go up today, but I am currently on holiday with my wife. Sorry, had to clear my throat. Yeah, so I'm currently away on holiday with my wife, so I don't have access to my PC and my Dead by Daylight, so I can't do the Shrine video, so I thought I'd do a quick discussion video instead, so I've still got something to upload. And we're going to be talking about the controversial and divisive situation or topic of the new skill-based matchmaking. I've done a few videos on these before, but we are now currently living in skill-based matchmaking indefinitely, so I thought I'd just give my takes on it now it's in the live compared to the tests, and just have a little chat about it and just kind of give my opinions on it, really. That's pretty much it. Before I get into the actual discussion, I just want to say that this isn't like an attack on any. I'm not trying to attack anyone. I'm not trying to say anyone else's opinions on skill-based matchmaking is invalid or what I'm saying is 100% right and everyone else is wrong. This is just my opinion on what skill-based matchmaking is and how my experience has been since it came into live last week. So now that's out of the way, let's start the discussion. Right, so skill-based matchmaking, basically Dead by Daylight has changed their matchmaking system from a ranked system of you are paired with players of an equal or near rank. So if you're a red rank player, you should be ranked with other red rank players, purple rank, that sort of stuff. But the issue with that was that the vast majority of people all fell into the red rank category, and the main problem with that is that you could have players who are fairly new to the game with a couple hundred hours who are red rank up against players who have been playing the game since 2016, which have thousands and thousands of hours, and it's not really a fair comparison to have someone like, for example, like I have about, I don't know, like 1200 hours or something in the game at the moment, so I'm nowhere near like the level of some of the more experienced and longer Dead by Daylight players. So like looking in the EU server region, you know what I mean, like I was red rank, so if I was playing killer, I could get people who maybe got to red rank for the first time, have only played the game for a couple hundred hours, or I could get ranked against people like the GRM or Aaron. And then if I'm playing survivor, I could, again, same situation applies, I could play as a survivor and come up against a killer who's like who only kind of just got to red rank, only plays one killer, or I could get paired against someone like Dowsy or Starva, you know what I mean, just using the EU servers as an example. So skill-based matchmaking basically is taking that away. Everyone has a kind of private MMR and you have a global one for survivor, and you have a separate MMR for every killer that you play, and you should be ranked against people with similar MMRs. So in theory, if you get 8,000 hours, you should be getting paired with people who also have that rough amount of time and that sort of skill level. And if you've only got a couple hundred hours, you should be getting paired with people who also have a couple hundred hours. So a lot of things negative coming out about this. People saying they don't want, like, the biggest thing I've seen on the forums and on Twitter and stuff is like, I don't want to have to heavily sweat every match, I want to just have fun, yada yada. But like my take on that is that if you don't want to sweat every game, just don't sweat every game. You know, like if you have a slightly lower MMR because of it, then you'll end up in an MMR that you're comfortable with. You can have fun, like you can get flashlight saves or mess around, or you can whatever. I think the main issue that I've seen is mainly people who are classed as veteran players don't want to go up against other veteran players consistently, because basically, I'm not saying that they've had it easy, that's not the way I'm trying to put it, but like if you've had a thing where you've been a streamer or something like that, and you can basically like half concentrate on the game because the level of survivors you're going against as a killer is lower than it should be, you can kind of half pay attention, talk to your chat, be engaging as a content creator, and that is really important. And you don't want to be going up against other people who have got like the same amount of hours as you do, and you have to like massively concentrate every single game just to like be competitive, you know what I mean? I totally get that, but for my experience of skill-based matchmaking has been brilliant. Honestly, the amazing feeling that you load into a game as Survivor and one of your teammates doesn't go down in like 4 seconds. If you're on a hook, people will prioritize the game or the gameplay or the objective that needs the most amount of attention. So if for example, if I've just been hooked and they've just started a gen, they won't sit on that gen while I go to second stage. They'll come and get the unhook, or if they're almost finished the gen, they'll prioritize the gen over the unhook. You don't get left to die on first hook as much. You don't get like left in endgame collapse because people are too scared to come back into the map. The killers aren't. I find the whole being tunneled or ping ponged or camped is far less. The killers you're going against are difficult and are hard, but competitively so. Like, it's not like people are relying on gameplay like tunneling and hard camping to get wins. They're just very good killers who are getting downs and hooks regularly, and you have to be engaged and you have to be on your A game to get through it and survive. And vice versa on the killer side. I've just been having so much fun. I think previously in my last video I put up some comparisons of like a killer I play all the time, a killer I play some of the time, and a killer I don't play at all, and kind of showed the comparison across the end game results on it. And it was fairly balanced across the board, which if it was on the old matchmaking system it wouldn't have been. I would probably have got a 4k on my experienced killer and got a 4-man escape with very little points on a killer I've rarely ever played. So it's allowed me the chance to learn killers that I haven't really played before, because I've been too high a rank to be able to learn them in an effective way. So like killers like Huntress and Nurse and Blight, who have such a kind of skill ceiling around their power, I've been able to jump into games like that and it's not dead demoralizing or demotivating if you're just constantly getting dumpstered all the time. So I honestly think it's been so good. That again, this is just my opinion, and it's not anything. Like, I totally get the argument of skill-based matchmaking is bad for some players, and as I said, it's probably more towards like veteran players who, you know, it's not as they're not wanting to play. If you played it for that long, you don't want to be playing competitive comp level DBD. You want to be able to play it so you can engage with your community and your chat and things like that. So it's not ideal for people like that, but hopefully as things kind of go on, they'll play in a, hopefully people can play in a way that they want to, that allows them to still get what they want out of Dead by Daylight in their content creation and still be able to enjoy it without having to be like super sweaty all the time and running against S tier killers, running meta perks or like highly experienced thousands of hours teams or survival with friends. So I'm hoping that like as time goes on, like people kind of get what they're wanting out of it, and it's maybe just the shock of the complete change in the complete change in culture around how matches are made. But I honestly can't speak highly of how much fun I've been. This is probably the most fun I've been having in DBD for at least over a year now. Right before the skill-based matchmaking comes in, I took like a 3-week break off DBD because I just couldn't deal with going into matches with teammates who would go down instantly, or going against killers who, as soon as like they lost a gen in the first like minute of the match, they would just automatically turn to, right, well, I just need to tunnel someone out the game at 4 or 5 gens. I need to camp people to second stage on my very first hook. You know what I mean? It was just becoming such a horrible environment to play in, and people are saying like, oh, but people now will all just be running the most meta sweaty builds. It's like that was already happening and was probably a lot worse. Like I've seen a lot more perk variation and perk combos since I've started playing MMR than I did see before MMR. So, you know, to me it's just a positive thing, and I'm hoping that people in the community will give it a chance, let their MMR settle and find a level that they're happy at, and hopefully it then A, should make their games more enjoyable, and B, as it levels out over time, should make matchmaking more accurate and hopefully queue times a little bit shorter. But yeah, that's it. That's all I've got for you today, guys. Again, this was just a quick one I've thrown together so that I can still put something out for you on a Wednesday. As always, I've been LiboATM. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what your thoughts are on skill-based matchmaking. Again, these are just my opinions. I'm not wanting to say that anyone else is wrong or what their opinions on skill-based matchmaking aren't valid. As I said, I totally get where the argument of skill-based matchmaking isn't good or fun for certain players. And I would like to just say that I do have a lot of kind of empathy and sympathy for people in that position who are having to deal with like ultra sweaty games while while the kind of initial implementation's been brought in. So hoping I'll probably do a follow-up on this in like maybe like a few weeks or a couple months time, just to see if it's still the kind of same state or if it's kind of got better or worse and things like that. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So I will see you guys on the flip side. I shall be back next weekend. There's another video, obviously video due to come out the weekend. That'll be there, and I'll be able to return to the shrines as normal starting from next weekend. So until I see you guys next time, peace.